Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? All right. I don't know. There's something about this picture that's kind of cool. I'm not sure what it is. I mean, the gold's attractive. I think it's a color combination of the black and that. I don't know what you want to call that. I mean, it's pink, but I'm guessing there's a special kind of pink, but doesn't matter. The black against it looks pretty cool. I'm digging it. Anyways, I thought I'd get it, snag it, share it. We're going to get into gold, silver, cryptocurrencies here in just a moment. But before we get started, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button to help us get past the YouTube algorithms that block us from unsubscribed viewers. And if you are not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. Right now is a great time to buy gold and silver before prices start to get out of control again. Gold and silver have been going up since the beginning of the year and are continuing that trend as people start turning towards safer assets, the real safe havens. So when you go to buy your gold and silver, go check out our friends over at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. If you are a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and get a free half ounce of silver. So looky here, it looks like cryptocurrencies are rebounding. Somebody said, Pimpy, are we still on that white cloth thing? Yes, we are, believe it or not. I'll show you it here in just a moment. I thought it had been going consistently up, and I thought, well, it's a little early for the white cloth, but maybe, like I said earlier, it isn't going to follow it exactly to the T, so maybe it might go a little sooner, maybe it might go a little later. But man, it seemed to be on a pretty good, decent little run there, and I thought, well, I guess we're on our way, until all of a sudden, crash. Cryptocurrencies rebounding. So hopefully some of you were able to buy on the dip so you could benefit this ride going up. For those of you who are interested in buying cryptocurrencies, there is a link down below in the description. If you follow it, it'll take you to a website where you could buy cryptocurrencies. It's very user-friendly. Anyways, Bitcoin's at 38,163. Ethereum's at 2,686. Yikes, that was a nice tumble. New World Order coin XRP is at 72 cents. Cardano is at 91 cents. Solana is at $89. Dogecoin's at 13 cents. Polkadot's at $16.92. Shiba is at 4023. Is that right? Oh, my bad. 4025. Nice. Again, I continue to see really good news articles about Shiba. It's too bad that it is pegged to the Bitcoin instead of all these other currencies running free like they should be in a free market. Crypto.com is at 41 cents. If we look at the 52-week range, Bitcoin is working its way towards the halfway mark, and so is Ethereum. XRP starting to make a little bit of a push. Cardano starting way by the bottom. For the most part, if you look at all the cryptocurrencies, you got a good portion of them that are at the halfway mark, maybe a little past the halfway mark in some cases, of the 52-week average. Saitama, looking pretty good, 7017. I really thought that sucker was going to add another zero. It has finally worked out all the kinks on SataMask. Thank God. And so now I think people are starting to respond to it. People are getting frustrated, and I don't blame them. I stopped looking at any news on Saitama, but I still have not sold my cryptos. I still have a plethora of them, and I continue to earn reflections, which are free tokens, just for keeping my crypto where it is. Over the past hour, though, Saitama is down 0.5%. Over the last 24 hours, it is up 9.2%. Over the last 7 days, on average, it is down 10.9%. Over the last 14 days, it is on average down 41.7%. And over the last 30, it's down 36.7%. Silver still above the $24 range. I'm living at $24.11. It was actually a little higher than that. So although silver and gold have both been on their way up since the beginning of the year, if we go back to January the 6th, you can see silver, as I said, they go up and down like a hyper kid on sugar. This is January the 6th. It took off. Oh, yeah. Then people had to smash that sucker down real quick. It wanted to go for the gusto. It had jumped up above 24.50. We were wondering what the heck was going on. We knew that Basel III was in effect. We knew all kinds of things were happening with gold and silver. What our thoughts were is, holy Toledo, these people have finally went fully into Basel III, and now silver and gold are going to do their thing, was the thought process. But somehow, some way, they managed to smash it back down. We know it's through manipulation. After its nice little run up and brought back down to reality here, since January the 30th, as you can see, silver has consistently been moving in the upward position. Is what we like to see, which is a healthy growth. Let's hope it consistently stays that way. That's what we want to see. That's because people are moving into precious metals as a safe haven. So, silver at $24.11. Gold still lingering around that $1,900 level. It's at $1,896.50. So, gold doing just like silver. It is consistently moving up and has been for a little bit of time. January 28th, you can see it's down here around $1,790 and is now at $1,895. Again, safe haven. Talks of war, because God knows we need a distraction from all the bad governing that's going on by our politicians. Talks of war have people doing what? Moving to safe havens. Real safe havens. Gold and silver. So obviously, by the way cryptocurrencies are responding to market crisis as well as talks of war, saw the crypto take a big plunge down, or was that part of the plan? You heard me talk about how Bitcoin is following the Wyckoff chart. Let me show you some other patterns. Let's go back over here to 2017. You can see right here, it goes up, down, and then takes off. Same thing right here in 2019. It goes up. What do they call that? The low sell-off point. So it's called the jump off, but it's called a low value sell-off is what's happening. And then it takes off. Same thing here. Jump off, rise, low level sell-off, and then take off. Here it is again. Rises, low value sell-off, and then takes off. We're still following the Wyckoff. Then it should do the same thing. And lo and behold, look at what we have here, just like that. This one is a little bit wider there. That's interesting, but for the most part, they look like this. So is this one of those low value sell-offs? Is that what happened? Because they're claiming that cryptocurrency has panicked during the thoughts of a market crisis as well as talks of war. If that's the case, then cryptocurrencies are absolutely, positively not a safe haven. Is this still following the Wyckoff? Yes. Yes, it is. Remember, I showed you on a chart where it said you would get these little points right here before it starts to take off. You get these little points like this before it starts to take off. You get these little jump offs, and then it takes off. I think that's what this is right here. Then most likely it's going to take off to new highs. So if we believe that this is following the Wyckoff, it should start heading up to all-time highs. This is that time. It was supposed to be after the second week of February. We'd start to see it happen. I told you it could be a little sooner, could be a little after. It's not exact science, but you can see it is following the chart still. This would be that, again, low value sell-off. Then it's off to the races. So right now, what would be a good time to accumulate at the very least? And like I said, if you could study the Wyckoff and you understand it and you see the patterns and the trends, then just like all these rich people who are using that to manipulate the market, you can catch those rides as well and make money just like they do. So here we go again. Bitcoin is safer from the government bans than gold or silver, according to a crypto hedge fund CEO. Yeah, really? You think so, huh? Because I see governments all around the world banning, restricting, or outlawing cryptos. Crypto hedge fund veteran Zhu Su is saying that Bitcoin is far safer than traditional assets like gold and silver from a government crackdown. Well, I don't know about you, but over these last couple years, I haven't heard nobody cracking down on gold and silver. We've heard being cracked down on, so I don't know what this guy's talking about. The CEO and CIO of cryptocurrency hedge fund Three Arrow Capital tells his 429,000 followers on Twitter that banning the top crypto will likely be the last resort of governments. Here's the thing, Jelly Bean. We know the reason why gold and silver were manipulated is so that it would not compete with our fiat dollar. Once they started being able to sell derivatives into cryptocurrencies and ETF funds, welcome to our world. And yes, you can look at the Wyckoff and see that it's being manipulated. Sue's comments comes in response to billionaire Ray Dalio's statement that governments may see Bitcoin as a threat to their own currency and outlaw it, just as they've outlawed gold and silver in the past. Well, here's the thing. Cryptocurrencies are a huge problem for our governments. They are a direct competitor of the central bank digital currency, the one world currency. The CBDC is programmable, and it is on a centralized platform that not only do they monitor, but they use to spy on you. And not only that, dictate to you what you can and can't do with your money. Cryptocurrencies on a decentralized platform runs freely, and cryptos won't run into the same issues as a programmed currency, especially one that has an expiration date on it. So heck yeah, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are a major threat to the agenda that the World Economic Forum has. So to show you that there indeed is an agenda, we're going to listen to the man, the founder of the World Economic Forum, tell you right out of his mouth that yes, indeed, there is an agenda, and that they've infiltrated governments around the world. This is Robert Govia. I hope I'm saying his name right. I like his channel. From time to time, I'll catch his videos. But he played a video of Klaus Schwab talking, and I think it's important that everybody hears what this man has to say. And then I want you to sit back and think about our own governments and who is working for Klaus Schwab. Shall we?
Clip that member is actually asking about, in case you've missed it. This is a clip from a 2017 Robert F. Kennedy, I believe, government school over at Harvard. Klaus Schwab is speaking to somebody, and he's talking about the World Economic Forum back then, penetrating the different cabinets all throughout the world.
And I have to say, when I mention now names like Sis Merkel, even Vladimir Putin and so on, they all have been young global leaders of the World Economic Forum. Mm-hmm. But what we are very proud of now is the young generation, like Prime Minister Trudeau, President of Argentina and so on, that we penetrate the cabinets. So yesterday I was at a reception for Prime Minister Trudeau,
Canada,
and I know that half of this cabinet, or even more, half of this cabinet are actually young global leaders of the world economy.
Wow.
Wow, he's right. After what we just seen Trudeau did in Canada, the new emergency powers that he gave himself, they're now unlimited. He is now the dictator of Canada. This agenda that they're pushing is funded and organized through the World Economic Forum. This is the one world government. But listen what happens when a person from Parliament in Canada brings this up recently.
And that's true in Argentina. Wow.
That noise is there.
Sorry. That's true in Argentina as well.
It's true in Argentina, and it's true in France now. Mm-hmm. I mean, with the president, who is a young global leader. But what is important for me?
They're all agents of the World Economic Forum.
You can tell who is and who isn't. The World Economic Forum has the Great Reset. Their motto is Build Back Better. Can you think of anybody else who's used that motto? Boris Johnson, Biden. You could look at who those leaders are out there that are all part of this movement. Macron, Merkel, Trudeau, and then you add in Boris Johnson, Biden, Argentina, Vladimir Putin. Something tells me that that one's a little hard to swallow. So if these people get into power, they start appointing their own cabinet members, then they start infiltrating your government, and they start learning your government secrets, and they all report back to the big dog himself, Klaus Schwab. They get together in the council, and they discuss plans on what they need to do to change each country one at a time. But make no doubt about it, their number one goal is to capture the entire United States. But it's starting to backfire a little bit on it, but let's get back to this video super quick.
Klaus Schwab. And so if half of Canada's cabinet, right, if half of Trudeau's cabinet are young global leaders or members of the World Economic Forum or sort of invested with them in some way, shape, or form. Isn't that a conflict of interest? And don't the Canadian people have a right to know which of those members of Trudeau's cabinet are involved and to what extent, and know the details about that? And so because that video is floating around, we played it on our show, they are now asking questions about that in Canada. And here's what that full question sounds like. Now, as we watch this again, I want to pay attention to two different things. Number one, there are objections. Number one is my question, are they objecting to the content of the question or the clarity of the question, okay? About what this gentleman is asking or about how the asking is happening. You're going to hear him say again, oh, we can't hear you, the audio's bad. But then you're going to hear several people respond to the substance of the question. So it sounds like maybe they could hear it. Let's watch how this whole thing unfolds in Canada.
Question commentaire, questions and comments. The honourable member for Oshawa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I listened to my colleague's speech. I had a constituent that wanted me to ask a question about outside interference to our democracy. Klaus Schwab is the head of the World Economic Forum, and he bragged how his subversive WWF, World Economic Forum.
Yeah, okay, I spotted that. Watch the guy's face once he mentions Klaus's name, and then watch his lips as he's talking to these people.
Colleague's speech. I had a constituent that wanted me to ask a question about outside interference to our democracy. Klaus Schwab is the head of the World Economic Forum, and he bragged how his subversive WWF, World Economic Forum, has, quoted, infiltrated governments around the world. He said that his organization had penetrated more than half of Canada's cabinet. And I was wondering, in the interest of transparency, could the member please name which cabinet ministers are on board with the WEF's agenda? My concern is the deputy.
Order. I know the member was in a really good question there, but
you heard it.
The audio is really, really bad, and the video is really, really bad as well.
Yeah, Klaus Schwab and Soros are two big sharks in a small pond, man. You can see they have no problems not only talking about what their plans are, but bragging about it. So having said, I come full circle back to this article. The CBDC is their baby. They're not going to let anything compete with it. I support what cryptocurrencies are. I just don't trust our government interfering with cryptocurrencies. If we ever get past whatever this agenda is, then I'll revisit it. I'm not saying I don't have crypto, but my exposure to cryptocurrencies is very, very limited. This guy goes on to try to say that gold and silver is most likely to be targeted by the government before cryptos. Obviously, that's not true. I mean, this guy posted, it's on January 4th, 2022. This after all these countries talking about what? Outlawing cryptocurrencies, restricting use of cryptocurrencies, outlawing exchanges. You don't hear any threats right now whatsoever about gold and silver. Is cryptocurrencies a safe haven? I don't think so. Russia-Ukraine tensions, power go to 8-month highs. I talk about this all the time. I filled this trivia question. Who holds the most gold? And I said the United States, rumored. Nope. Indian women. They hold 70% of all mined gold. And look at, fittingly, you can see them in the picture buying gold. So yeah, precious metals are moving up. And they have been since the beginning of the year. You can see the trajectory still upwards, as people are preparing for a market crash, as well as possible tensions between countries. So we'll see what happens as all these things come to a head. And like I was saying earlier, Bitcoin tumbles amid Ukraine fears. The safe haven narrative has fallen apart. Investors fled risk-sensitive assets like cryptocurrencies Tuesday. I told everybody that cryptos were just like stock. They're risky investments. They are the digital version of a fiat dollar. There's no intrinsic value to them. And if the doo-doo hits the fan, I definitely don't want to have a bulk of my money in stocks, bonds, nor cryptos. Most all my money is in precious metals with a little bit of exposure into cryptos. But my purpose in cryptocurrencies aren't as a safe haven, but they're there for investment purposes and me taking a gamble onto cryptos that I think are going to perform a lot better than where they currently are. So again, my concern was, and I told everybody that when I started researching into the Great Reset, that this was a New World Order movement. They even say New World Order on their website. Now you hear these videos, these guys don't even hide what's going on. They have infiltrated governments. They're in administrations. They're in cabinet positions. These people are all part of the same organization. So when I say they are a New World Order with a one world government wanting a one world currency, I wasn't lying. The CBDC is the one world currency. All countries have a CBDC that they are developing and getting ready to launch. Now, you could call it different names. That doesn't make it different currencies. They're all the same currency, which is a central bank's digital currency that's programmable with the expiration date on it. This is why you want something out of the system. This is why I always encourage people to be into gold and silver, because now is the time. Anyways, that's it for now, you guys. Hit the thumbs up button, and if you're not a subscriber, please do, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later. I'm out.